Welcome to People Who Inspire. I'm your host, Mary Drelizak. We're at the Cobblestone Hotel in Connellsville, and behind me there's a sign that says, "This is my happy place." Well, we're about to meet somebody that will take you to her happy place every time you visit her YouTube channel. Her name is Olivia Rakas, and she's a talented musician and singer who uses her talents to lift others up. Join us now.
Feel I love you so, I always will. I look at you and see the passion eyes of May. Oh, but am I ever gonna see my springtime day? I was on your side, Phil, when there were shadows. I never scheme or lie, Phil. Please say no more snow, 'cause blizzards and cold won't carry me. Punxsutawney Phil, I love you so, I always will. We look to you and hope the weather you'll foretell.
So Olivia, tell me about your musical background.
So my background started whenever I was wee little. I loved to dance and I loved to sing. So I was a crazy dancer. That was everything I did was dance. And as I got older, I got interested in musicals because I wanted to dance in them. So I started with musicals and I got into singing. The first musical I ever did was Gypsy. And so that got me into that bug. And whenever I was little, I listened to Cats every day. I went into musicals in high school, and that really opened up how I began to sing. I had sung in church whenever I was younger, but I wasn't, like, oh, I'm a vocalist. So whenever I got into musicals, that was kind of like my outlet. And my sophomore year of high school, I got really into the Beatles. And so when I got into the Beatles, I decided that I wanted to be a music major. And so I'm right-handed, but I wanted to play guitar like Paul McCartney. So I decided I was going to play guitar left-handed. I decided I was going to play piano. I had taken lessons whenever I was younger, but kind of fallen out of it. So I got back into that and I started singing again, and that just kind of skyrocketed me into the musician that I am now.
That's so cool. So you really discovered your voice really when you got into the musicals?
Yes.
Is that when you really realized you could sing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's so neat. And the genres that you have, so the Beatles, how did you get interested in the Beatles? 'Cause your age is right now?
I'm 22.
22.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So how did you get into that?
I got into the Beatles. It's a long story, but I really liked Guitar Hero, so I wanted to own all the Guitar Hero games, and I actually stumbled on one on a Black Friday sale because I just wanted to collect them all. So I actually found their music through that, and I played the game all the time, and I just fell in love with their music.
Wow. So the musicals and gaming, they all played a role in influencing you, what
Yes.
you're doing. So then you went on to Seton Hill University and
I did.
majored. Tell us about your majors. What you did.
I majored, I have a BA in music with a religious studies minor, and I have a BA in honors, and I'm currently in Cal U for pharmacy school.
Wow.
So big change, big
Wow.
turnaround, but I'm still heavily involved in music, and I did choir there, and I was in marching band, I played the drums, and I was just involved in everything musical that I could get my hands into.
Right, that's so cool. You mentioned that at Seton Hill you did a senior project that sounded really special. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So my senior year in September of 2016, I did a project called Music Up. And they told us at school, they said, do a project that kind of encompasses you and what you would like to put out into the world. So I came up with the idea of doing uplifting music to tie in the music and the religious studies together. But I used songs that were both secular and religious. So I used Michael W. Smith and Chris Tomlin and Phillips Craig and Dean and traditional hymns, but I also used songs like Higher Love by Steve Winwood and Gimme Love by George Harrison, Forever by Kenny Loggins, and we even did September by Earth, Wind & Fire because it was in September.
Yeah.
So we used those songs, and it made a really big impact because there were such a a variety of people that were in the audience. There were young people.
So you had a show.
Yes.
And the show, where was the show at?
The show is at the State Theater in Uniontown.
Uniontown.
Yes.
And again, it was called
Music Up.
Music Up. So
Yes.
you were, and your audience was who? Who was in there?
There was everywhere. There were babies there. There were people that were in their 90s. We had priests. We had lay people. We had men that had come out of prison that wanted to come see the show, and they were supposed to leave after the first act, and they actually linked arms and they refused to leave. They wanted to watch the rest of it. And so it was just a wide variety of people there that had come, and it served St. Vincent de Paul. All the profits went for St. Vincent de Paul Society in Uniontown. So it was just a great opportunity to put music and that spirituality that is pretty much who I am into one event and have it reach out to people and just to have an uplifting day. That's why I called it Music Up, because it was uplifting and I wanted people to be able to, look up to God. So
Yeah, that's cool. And you had other artists there too.
I did, yes.
Okay.
I had people, Levi Graft played piano, Nick Bell was on drums, Joseph Onesi and Chris Welch sang, Matthew and Mark Emerson and Stephen Gallo played the guitars. I believe that's everybody: piano, drums, guitars, vocalist. That's everybody in the main band.
So you had the local talent
Yes.
that you drew together
Yes.
to create this uplifting concert
Yes,
for
and
the
then
community.
I
It's
also had my friends and some of my professors from Seton Hill that came and did things like saxophone and trumpet and trombone and violin. It was really nice.
That's cool. That's
It was
so
a lot of
neat.
fun,
That's
yeah.
really neat. That's something we need to make an annual event.
Yes, I would
Please.
love to do it again.
That would be so awesome, especially for schools. Kids need that, and everyone. We all need that. We all need to be lifted
Yeah,
up.
it's just nice to have, something
Yes.
like happy.
Exactly. And speaking of happy, so you do these really adorable videos, and in these videos you are singing different genres, and you are in different locations.
Yes.
And they're adorable. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I listen to all kinds of music, so I just pick songs that I like to cover and I sing them and I put them out. And locations, whenever I was younger, before I went to Geibel Catholic, and before I did that I was homeschooled. And so when I was homeschooled, my mom would take me and we would go on field trips and we would travel everywhere because I loved school. So it just kind of always incorporated into my life was traveling. So through these videos, we have gone to places that I've loved since whenever I was younger, and new places that we've discovered through traveling and filming, and places that I got to dance on top of the Punxsutawney Stump in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania through these videos. And so it was like things like that you would never think of that I was able to do just for filming YouTube videos.
That's so cool, and it is on YouTube. And so before we get to that, tell me a little bit about some of those locations. One of them was Savannah, Georgia.
Yes, one of the videos is filmed in Savannah, Georgia. There's one filmed at NASA in Florida. We did Luray Caverns and the Shenandoah Valley. I have, actually my next video that's coming out is in Washington, D.C. And where are some other places? I know there's a Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Right.
And
Other locations in the Fayette County area?
yes, I went up to the Jamonville Cross is one of them.
Okay.
I went to the Bowman's Castle in Brownsville. That was a place, we just go all around. Mount Macrina, one was filmed at.
That's neat.
So all over there's one video on there called Hallelujah that it has 14 different churches in Uniontown in it.
Oh, that's
all
so
different
neat.
denominations, but they're all in one video.
That is so cool.
Yes.
What's the song that you use in that one?
It's called Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's so neat. So some of the songs. Tell me about what some of those songs are that you chose. So what song did you choose for Savannah? You chose
I sang Georgia on My Mind.
Georgia. Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, actually the jazz music started whenever I was in Seton Hill. I was in a jazz combo. I had sung pop before that. That was kind of when I found my jazz voice. So I do a lot of jazz on there. I did Fly Me to the Moon. That was in NASA.
Wow.
And I did Michael Jackson's Rock With You in Luray Caverns because of the rocks. And I like to make my videos funny. So
They are,
So a lot of them have to do with their puns.
Okay.
So
And you told me something about your videos. In every video, there's one object,
yes.
and it's up to the viewer to spot it.
Yes.
What is it?
In almost every video there is a green apple, and it's hidden in there somewhere. There's a couple of videos where it didn't get on location, but for the most part there's a green apple in every video, and that symbolizes two things to me. One is the Beatles. They had Apple Corps, was their corporation where they did music, and their symbol was a green apple. So in homage to the Beatles, it's in there. And also I did it because of humanity. For Adam and Eve, the story in the Bible in Genesis where they, eat the apple and then they become human. So, we're all flawed, but, we still have the spirituality of God in everything that we do, whether or not it's religious.
Right, that's good. Why is it so important to you to have music that lifts people up and reaches them on that level?
It's important to me because I know that throughout my life and the difficulties that I've gone through and that I've seen other people go through, music has always brought me back up and being, in a positive state of mind and knowing that there's still good things out in the world. When everything looks like it's, just thrown everywhere, there's always good things, and music can show us that. And so for me, being able to show my God-given talents to other people and bring them some joy and have them see, if they say, oh, well, she's happy, and what is that light that's inside of her? Oh, it's God and it's music, and that gives her happiness. Then if other people can have like a little piece of what I'm happy about, I would love that.
That's awesome. So you mentioned one of your videos, you are playing every instrument in it. So
yes.
Tell me about that.
The video is No Such Thing as a Broken Heart, which is originally by Old Dominion, and I play every instrument in it. So there's banjo and guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, the vocals and the harmonies and everything. I did play all of those instruments in it.
Wow, that is so cool. So how did you learn how to play all these instruments?
I just kind of picked it up whenever I got into the Beatles, and I said I'm going to play guitar. I walked downstairs and I told my mom, I said I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to learn how to play a song on the guitar. And she was like, okay. And she thought I was going to come down and know a couple chords, and I went up for a half an hour and came down and knew how to play Blackbird. Wow. So it's really just a God-given gift that I have, and that's why I want to use it, because I've worked at it. There's a certain element of practice with every gift that you're given, right. But for me to have that natural talent, I feel like if I don't use it, I'm just wasting it. And that's what I want to get it out into the world, so other people can say, hey, I'm really good at soccer, or hey, I'm really good at playing the piano or drawing, and I can put that out into the world and make other people, realize their gifts. So if I can inspire one person to go out and use their gifts, and they can inspire one person, then eventually everyone will be using their gifts that they have, and then you can feel fulfilled. Because I think that's how you really feel that you're doing something good, is if you're using what God has given you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And also, you're also a talented dancer as well. So there's no talent that you don't have, and it's wonderful because you use your dancing also in some of your videos as well. So that's so neat. And in your videographer,
yes, is my anonymous mother.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. She does it. That's really an amazing work that she does.
She does.
What
She's
fun!
She's
and you
wonderful.
do the editing on the video.
I do. Yeah, I make the music and I edit it, and she films everything.
So that's not easy either.
No.
So Rick's going to hire you to help him with his editing now that because he wants you to use that skill for Armstrong. So that's pretty cool. That's so neat. Well, Olivia, what are your goals, in life as far as your music goes, as far as your career goes? Where are you looking from here? Where do you want to go?
I would love to be able to just go out. First and foremost, I want to be a musician, and everything that comes with that God gives me is what I want to happen. I'm really I want to follow what God has for me. And I would love to be able to do like more music ups where people come in and they just have a really good day. Right. They walk out and they're happy, and that's my whole goal. And I said I'm in for pharmacy, and that goes along with helping people too, because it's in the medical field, and it's hard to find compassion in people, especially when you're sick. And so that still goes along with helping people, but I just love music, and that's what I want to do with my life, and I just want to use it however God prompts me to.
That's so neat. And you are, and thank goodness that you are, and you're a compassionate and giving and caring person. So your videos are on YouTube.
They are.
Okay, so we'll put up the social media
Yes.
tag on that, but it's actually called.
It's called Livmo. Livmo.
Okay, very
Yes.
good. All right. And the why on that, Livmo?
It's called Livmo because it's not my actual name, but I kind of wanted my stage name to be Liv Montgomery.
Yeah.
So that's Livmo, but it's also meaning live more.
Yeah,
So, you know, live deeper and live more inspired into your life and enjoy it. That's what I just want to make people happy when they click on my channel.
And that's exactly what happens. When you're watching her videos, you're sitting there and you're like smiling. Georgia on my mind. I'm just trying to think. I've watched a number of them, and every single one you're just like smiling away. And also, these cities need to know that you're doing this, and these locations, you would be the best travel promotion.
I would love to do that.
They could have, because these people are watching these locations and they're happy and they want to go there. You not only take us to a happy place within our minds and also physically and locally as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for making such a difference.
Thank you so much.
It's great to have you.
Thanks.
Olivia's example really teaches us that no matter where we are in our life, we can take our talents with us. We can use them for good, to build others up, and to make the world a better place. Thanks so much for being with us.